Good day, everyone! Welcome back to our second module for Child and Adolescent Development. So for today, ang i-discuss naman natin is the principles and aspects of development. So wag na nating patagalin pa. What are the principles of child or human development? These characterize the pattern and process of growth and development. Also, it provides a basis for understanding how to encourage and support learning. It also shows that although there are individual differences in children's personalities, activity levels, and timing of developmental milestones, as well as cultural differences, human development still has a predictable, orderly, and universal pattern. So despite the fact that human development is unique for every individual, meron pa din tayong pattern na makikita which will help us better understand the changes that humans go through over the course of their life. So we have 9 principles of human development. We have A. Development proceeds from the head downward. Letter B. Development proceeds from the center of the body outwards. Letter C. Development depends on maturation and learning. Letter D. Development proceeds from the simple or concrete to the more complex. Letter E. Growth and development is a continuous process. Letter F. Growth and development proceed from general to specific. Letter G. There are individual rates of growth and development. Letter H. Development is influenced by both heredity and environment. And last but not the least, we have optimal tendency of development. So these are the principles that we will be discussing later on as we go along. So first, letter A, we have development proceeds from the head downward. This is also known as the cephalocaudal principle. So according to this principle, the child gains control of the head first, then the arms, and then the legs. So basically, ito yung reason why the babies, diba, they learn to distinguish objects or people muna before they learn how to write or they learn how to walk. Okay? Kasi from top to bottom nga sabi. For letter B, development proceeds from the center of the body outwards. So this is also known as the principle of proximodistal development. So it implies that the spinal cord develops before the outer parts of the body. So from the spinal cord, di ba yan yung gitna? The growth and development will go outward. So mula sa spinal cord natin, pupunta yan sa arms, sa legs, then papunta sa fingers natin. Ayan. Okay? So child's arms develop first before the hands, hands and feet before fingers and toes, fingers and toe muscles na yung last na magda-develop naman sa ating physical development. Next, letter C. Development depends on maturation and learning. So, nabanggit ito ng pahapyaw last time, diba, sa ating maturational theory. And kung babalikan natin yung discussion natin last module, meron dun na sinabi that maturity is equal to age or equivalent to age for maturationist. So, now, when we say maturation, ibig sabihin that children must mature to a certain age bago sila makapag-progress sa ibang skills or sa new skills. So, for them, kailangan munang umabot sa ganitong specific age before makonsider as mature. Okay? Also, for maturation, biological changes occur in sequence and give children new abilities. Changes in brain and nervous system also account largely for maturation. Kaya nga sabi, hanggat hindi pa umaabot sa ganitong age, ibig sabihin hindi pa kasi ganun ka-develop yung brain and yung nervous system. So, equivalent siya sa hindi pa ganun ka-mature yung batang yon. Okay, so that is for maturation. Next, we have maturational patterns. So, these are innate or genetically programmed. Ang sinasabi dito is that child's environment plus the learning that occurs as a result of child's experience largely determine whether the child will reach optimal development. So in order for children to develop to their full potential in terms of cognitive and motor skills, one must be exposed to different types of environments and situations kasi dun sila matututo. Alright? Next, letter D. Development proceeds from the simple or yung concrete to the more complex. So this is also known as the principle of hierarchical integration. It states that simple skills typically develop separately and independently but are later integrated into more complex skills. So halimbawa nito is yung, for example, yung isang bata, di ba, they learn how to speak words or they learn new words habang bata pa sila. But eventually, they learn how to use these words na natutunan nila into sentences para maka-form sila ng sentences to express themselves. Ayan. Letter E. Growth and development is a continuous process. So as a child develops, he adds to skills already acquired. So new skills become the basis for further achievement and mastery of skills, and most children follow a similar pattern. Pero again, hindi lahat ng bata ay pare-pareho ang pacing of development. Okay? Letter F. Growth and development proceed from general to specific. So growth occurs from large muscle movements to more refined. So, kumbaga in terms of motor skills, ang una niya matututunan is yung pag-grip, diba? Yung paghawak ng mga bagay-bagay. Kailan mahawakan ko yung ballpen, yung mga blocks, diba? Ayan. But as he grows, natututunan niyang i-develop yung kanyang fine motor skills. So, mula pag-grip or paghawak ng hindi mahuhulog, ang matututunan na niya is how to write, how to draw. Ayan, diba? So, traits become more complex as child gets older. Also, characteristic traits vary at different stages. Kumbaga, at specific ages, merong tayong specific milestones na kailangang ma-achieve ng ating children. Letter G. There are individual rates of growth and development. So, ito yung tinatawag nating principle of independence of systems. It asserts that each child is different and that the rates at which individual children grow are different. So these rates na tinatawag should cause us to be careful about using and relying on age and stage characteristics to describe or label children. Kasi sabi nga natin, again, hindi naman pare-pareho ang pacing ng bawat bata. There is a range of ages for any developmental task to take place, and it dismisses the notion of an average child. Okay? Ayan. Letter H. Development is influenced by both heredity and environment. So the process of heredity and environment are interdependent and complementary. So neither of these appears to be dominant. So kumbaga, yung environment kung saan natututo ang bata, as well as yung genes na nakuha niya from his or her parents, ay makakatulong para mag-develop at ma-reach nung individual yung kanyang full potential. Right? A child's genetic inheritance also provides the basic foundation for many physical and personality attributes, but the influences of social, cultural, and familial variables also contribute to development. So, hindi lang purely yung genes ang nakaka-apekto sa development ng isang bata, but also the environment kung saan siya exposed. And last but not the least, we have the optimal tendency of development. So, here ang sinasabi is that the body tends to maintain a state of equilibrium called homeostasis. This is where the body tends to adapt to environmental conditions and strives to preserve constant internal environment despite changing conditions. So now that we know the 9 principles of human development, let's go now to the 4 aspects of development. So meron tayong physical, cognitive, psychosocial, and behavioral development. So the interplay of these domains influence and determine the development and personality of an individual. So let's explore these 4 aspects. Okay? First, we have the physical development. These are the changes in body structures and functions over time. So yung changes na nangyayari sa physical body natin. Physical and physiological growth and change will be rapid during the first year and then mag-i-steady siya hanggang sa makarating ng puberty. Next, we have the cognitive development or yung development ng thinking skills ng bawat bata. So these refer to the gradual and orderly changes in individuals' mental processes from simple to complex or sophisticated. So this is how a child will learn and develop thinking and language skills and will be influenced by environment in which a child lives and the experiences they have. So itong cognitive development na to occurs mostly in middle childhood adolescence. Next, we have psychosocial development. So this refers to the changes naman in personal and interpersonal aspects of individuals. So examples nito is yung motives, motibo, ayan, emotions, personality traits, and interpersonal traits. So there are two types under this psychosocial development. So meron tayong emotional development and social development. So first, let's go to emotional development. Ayan. So this refers to learning and developing emotional skills to live within a family and society. So it is also the emergence of child's experience, expression, understanding, regulation of emotions from birth to late adolescence. It also involves the development of a child's identity and self-image and the development of relationships with family, friends, and others. So, kumbaga, dito niya na kikilala yung kanyang sarili at yung mga nakakapag-forge siya ng relationships with other people. Okay? Next, we have social development. So, this is characterized by a dramatic change in quantity and quality of social relationships. Ito naman is about how children and adolescents build or establish relationships with other people and how they learn to manage and be responsible for this said relationships. And last but not the least, we have behavioral development. So this results from behavioral experimentation of children and adolescents in response to developmental changes that they go through. So itong experimentation na to results in risk-taking, which is normal naman. Alright? Also, engaging in risk-taking behavior helps them shape their identities, try out new decision-making skills, develop realistic assessment of themselves, and gain peer acceptance and respect. Alright? So, those are the 4 aspects of development. Ayan. So, this ends our second module for child and adolescent development. Thank you very much for watching and see you on our next video.